What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody, back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video after a day of, oh my lord, sickness, fakeness, sickness. A miracle happened. Our boy Phil just suddenly, after an hour, became, just became alive. And of course, our boy Phil keeping the den streak alive yet again by counting fake Argentinian memberships. That's right. Our boy Phil has gotten so desperate to keep the den streak alive that he is now counting the Argentinian memberships as part of the total goal. That's right. Well, partially. Only when it meets his needs. And of course, the idiot doesn't know how to count. So let's get into it.
Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Wednesday, the 29th of January, 2025. Another rough day for me because after yesterday, having sneezed and having my throat swell up at the end of the night, and you could hear it in the Daily Wrap last night that I was a little hoarse in the throat. Last night, I did not get a good sleep. I was up a lot of the night because my throat was killing me and I couldn't breathe very well. And it was very rough. Let's put it that way. Woke up this morning feeling absolutely awful. My entire body from head to toe was sore. So I knew that I was sick. And I told everyone at that point that I was going to be late for stream. I was going to do my best to be on stream by around 1 p.m. Pacific time, but I was going to sleep it off. So I did. So I ended up sleeping in today about another extra 2 to 3 hours than I normally would. And then when I got up, I took a shower and I was getting ready. I ate my breakfast burrito or whatever, even though it was almost the afternoon at that point. And time just like went by so fast. I was like, dude, usually this takes me like a half an hour, 40 minutes to do. And it was over an hour and I wasn't done yet. I'm like, what is going on? I was just moving like a slug because I felt so ill today early on. And then when I came on my first stream to play Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, I sounded terrible. Everyone was like, oh my God, Phil, like your voice, you sound awful. Yeah, my throat at that point was so swollen. But man, after last week, missing out on a day of work because the internet was out, missing out on a day when I spent with my wife, I couldn't keep missing days. So I had to tough my way through it. It worked out well. Today in Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, we made major progress.
All right, so we definitely have to stop it there because we have to do some unpacking here. So yeah, I'm calling straight up bullshit, Phil. You weren't sick. You sounded like you were drunk. You were drunk. You had a hangover, Phil. You can admit it. You can be honest with us. We already know what you're swigging out of your mug. We know that that's not just water, Phil. And of course, you have a history of drinking certain substances. And you yourself have admitted that you were or are an alcoholic. And of course, we all know that people are never former alcoholics. They're just recovering alcoholics and can easily slip into that, lifestyle pretty easy. I just find it so just a fucking coincidence that the day before that, Smart Guys gets canceled because PPP gets drunk. Right? And then all of a sudden, Phil just doesn't feel well. He doesn't feel well. Almost as if he wanted to copy and mirror his mentor, PPP, Triple P. That's right. You've noticed Phil, throughout his streaming career, anyone he's been associated with, whether it be Panda Lee, whether it be Rambo, whether it be Cat, whether it be Ashton, whoever, right? He always takes on their personality or personality traits or their quirks, right? Like with the goat laugh with Panda Lee, just being a rude pig like Panda Lee, saying felted and updating his screens with all this RGB bullshit in the back, just like his mentor PPP. It almost seems like Phil has zero personality of himself. And again, this is all typical narcissistic behavior. I mean, you can go and read the literature, and Phil is just textbook narcissist personality. Doesn't have a personality himself. Tries to mirror others so that he can fit in because he's not, mentally capable to have his own personality. So I have a feeling Doody is going to state it right here. Doody's opinion is that Phil wasn't sick. Phil was drunk. Phil was, oh my God, he's drinking gin. That's right. He was up last night drinking gin, didn't feel well, and figure I'm going to sleep in. That's what he did. And this way he has a story to tell his dents and say, hey, dents, I'm sick. Give me money. Because the pathetic ass viewers, his pathetic dents that donate to Phil, these 3 or 4 morons They believe everything he has to say. And when there's this crisis, befallen Phil, they feel like they need to prop him up. Bro, you guys are so pathetic, and you guys fall for that bullshit and that nonsense every single time. Every single time. You guys are so fucking sad and pathetic. You guys are almost as sad and pathetic as Phil. Straight up. And I typically don't go after the dents who support Phil. I don't really give a shit, but sometimes you need to call out idiocy. You need to call out when people are just slow, like they're extremely slow. And that's what we have here, folks. We have a batch of slow thinking individuals who can't identify when they're being scammed and they're being grifted. And of course, speaking of scamming and grifting, we're going to hear of the next scam and grift from our boy Phil.
So we started off in chapter 3, and by the end of the game, we were mid chapter 6, which was great. And the game has interesting. I like the graphics a lot. I like the enemy variety. The bosses are piss easy for some reason. And I'll be honest, the game has a lot of weapons, but I feel like the weapons, they're not all that good. Like, I got a weapon today that seemed pretty worthless compared to the other weapons I was using. So after using it for like 20 minutes, I swapped back to an older weapon. It's a solid game. It's still fun. There was even a whole stage where you play as a different character who I didn't know you were going to swap characters in this game. And overall, I enjoyed it. Now, funny story, something special happened today on that first stream. I don't want to spoil it because I made a separate video as a stream highlight to explain to everyone what happened. I'm going to upload that separately tonight after all this other content. So outside of the gameplay, outside of this daily wrap, there's going to be a video that goes live overnight later where basically my trolls self-felted themselves today. But I don't want to spoil. I want you to watch the video. Okay, so please do. You're going to get a good laugh if you're a fan of mine at what happened today. Okay, but anyway.
You don't have to waste your time and watch this boring ass video. It's just stupid. You can just watch my video, or you can listen to this right here. I'll give you the clips. So essentially, the clips here is Phil was so fucking desperate yesterday to hit the tip goal, right? He didn't want to give the trolls a W, that he actually counted the Argentinian memberships that got dropped on him. And of course, idiotic Phil has no understanding of currency conversion, has no understanding how using Google, and apparently he believes, he's under the impression that those 147, 150 gifted members that were given to him by the Argentinian thing, that he received $40. He's going to receive $40 for that. Moron. Dude. It's very easy to Google. It's very easy to research Phil, and I'm gonna do a separate video because I got some receipts for Phil. Because he watches my content. I got some receipts for Phil that's gonna show Phil exactly how much he got. Spoiler alert: Phil walked away with $3.51. That's how much money Phil walked away from with these 150 members. So of course he's so desperate. He's so desperate to keep alive this illusion, this lie that the Renaissance is still in full effect, that he is now using Argentinian and troll donations to hit the goal. And the other funny thing was last night during the night stream, of course, the Argentinian memberships dropped again. And it's funny because the username was, this cost me $1.71 for 50 members, you dunce. And yeah, that's what it costs. It costs about $1.71 depending on the day and the time. It's either $1.71 or $1.91 per 50 members. So, if you count out 150 members, that's like $4.25, and then YouTube's cut, you take away YouTube's cut, and yeah, Phil walks away with about $3.50. But of course, don't let a good grift pass you by, especially here with Phil. So, of course, he lied, and it was funny because his chat was saying, dude, you are so fucking wrong. You have zero clue. A simple Google search will show you that you're wrong. Like, you're calculating it completely wrong. He was using some stupid, if YouTube Premium is this in Argentinian, then that must mean this. And actually, the calculation was wrong. that calculation was wrong, too. I mean, based on his calculation, he walked away with like $12, which is wrong as well. But of course, he needed $35, so magically his calculations show that he made $35. Just, bro, this is so cringe, Phil. It's so beneath anyone, especially, come on, Phil. Like, you're really doing this? You are really doing this. You're so desperate to eat this cake. You're so desperate to put a notch for the goal streak so that, it didn't show that you didn't hit the streak 4 days 2 days in a row, 4 streams. You're that pathetic, man. But again, it goes along with the whole fake tech. And of course, last night support was fucking slow again, and miraculously at the very final minute, some anonymous dent came in and dropped a tip that he needed. He needed a $20-something tip, and of course, magically, it was $20, and it was from anonymous. Okay, Phil. Sure, buddy. We believe you. God, why, Phil? Why do you have to make this up? Why do you have to lie? Again, Phil, why? You're not felting anyone. I mean, even your own viewers were skeptical of what you were saying. They were like, I mean, some of the LARPers were saying, yeah, I felt the trolls or whatever, and they were, you know, they were basically just LARPing. But the vast majority of them were like, really? This is what you're doing, Phil? You're counting troll tips? Really? You're counting troll? And then, of course, most people said, well, are you going to go back and count all of the Argentinian memberships that you received in the past? Of course not. And I love it that last night he got a 50-member bomb from Argentina, and then his viewers were like, "Are you going to count this? Are you going to count this to the goal? You did it earlier." And all Phil had to say was, "Oh, just ignore this troll. We're going to just ignore this liar troll," and didn't count it towards the goal. Didn't count it towards the goal. So fucking pathetic. Anyway, I got a separate video. I got some receipts, and I want to disprove Phil yet again. He's completely wrong. He has zero clue what he's talking about, and of course, he doesn't bother researching anything. But you know, don't let a massive amount, you know, trillions and trillions of data points for you to look up and double check something before you go on stream and spend 9 minutes making a fool of yourself. Nope, not Phil. Phil doesn't care. He's Phil Burnell, and that's why people say he's adult and an idiot.
We ended up not hitting the goal on that first stream, but it was very close. But then watch the highlight video tonight, and you're going to find out what happened during the break. Okay? Cool. During the break, I had a delicious pasta dinner. I relaxed my voice. When I came back tonight, my voice was actually coming back, which was great. So tonight, it was a continuation of Dino Crisis. Now, I thought I was going to beat the game, but no. This game has a lot more to it. It's longer than I thought it was, which is good. I'm not complaining. Tonight was a whole new area of the map. All new, you know, things that you're doing. Fighting new dinosaur types tonight as well. I'll be honest, there's a lot of backtracking in this game, a la, say, Resident Evil 0. Remember Resident Evil 0, how much you have to backtrack? That's kind of how it was feeling, except for me, I was actually having fun with it. Like, it wasn't so annoying to the point where I was like, oh, this sucks. Instead, I was actually having a good time with it. So, and the audience was great, engaged, supportive. We hit the goal tonight. So, end of today, we are now at 86. We only need 4 more goals to get DSP Tries It, the Sakura box of snacks that you guys had me get off Amazon. And then after we do a few of those in the DSP Tries It, every time we hit a goal, I'll be trying another snack. Okay? So let's hit it, please. If you're like my content, please come by the next couple of days. By the end of Friday, let's get to 90 and let's do this so we can move into the next week working towards the 100 and the big Viewer's Choice Marathon. Okay? Thank you all for your support today. I really appreciate you. Also, it was very fun today messing around with.
Okay, so that little bit right there, you know, all joking aside, why does he sound extremely panicked? Like, he sounds so fucking panicked, as almost he has a bill upcoming that's due, and of course he can't come on stream and tell his viewers, hey guys, you know, I owe taxes, or I owe this, or you know, I didn't pay taxes. It's almost if he's panicked as all fuck, you know, like he's super worried about something, and that can explain why he he was lashing out last week. He was being a turd this week. It could explain a lot there, Phil. And again, Phil can't hide how he's feeling. You know, if something's going on in his personal life, he lashes out to his viewers because, of course, he doesn't have any real support system where he can go and talk to and try to get some advice. He has to bottle it up because he can't go on stream. Of course, unless it's dire, to the point where he has no other options but to beg his dents. But yeah, I think the years of getting ridiculed and just lambasted for, you know, every other week is a crisis of something. Something broke. I have to pay this. I have 2 big bills. Taxes. I didn't pay my taxes. I'm going through bankruptcy. Phil, I think, learned his lesson after those years of just being the whipping boy of the internet, which is true, and he still is. He's still the whipping boy of the internet, and he knows that he doesn't want to go back to those days. Like, people clown him and they bring up the bankruptcy and they bring it all up still to this day. But could you imagine if Phil tried to pull that shit again? in 2025, can you imagine if Phil came out and said, "Oh, I need money for taxes"? Dude, every content creator out there, even Ashton and Worski, would crucify Phil. But again, he sounds very panicked. He sounds extremely panicked, and for some reason, he needs to hit these goals. He needs that $2,400 for something. It's very interesting. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.